Final question, and before we wrap up, Chris, what's your biggest concern right now with the current climate we have in America?
You know, I've used this before, and people ask me, "Hey, what do you think of what's going on?" And I say, if somebody asked you, and this is extreme, I get it, but if somebody asked you 20 years now, if somebody asked you 10 years ago, what does revolution look like? What would revolution today look like to you? Name 5 things that would entail revolution. I mean, it's not like the Revolutionary War where they get the red coats and we're fighting it out over, Bunker Hill or anything like that. But name 5 things. You would have, deep racial divisions, rioting, looting, protests, false information, narratives, media split down the middle, groups occupying zones, and an unwillingness of authorities to either deal with them or an inability to deal with them. My guess is, if I had asked somebody that question, 10 years ago, they probably would have named a few of those things and maybe something else. And I'd say, well, now, what do we have? We have some or all of those things going on. It's pretty damn scary because, revolution is a strong word. So there's part of me that's optimistic. I mean, there's always things always seem to work out, but this just seems tough. I think I've even had conversations with people who, and I'm not politically leaning big time one way or the other. I think I'm probably part of the big bell curve in the middle, but I am former law enforcement, and I lean that way. Where I've had conversations that my intent was to, let's find a middle ground here. We're friends, we can talk through this. I've walked away feeling pretty shitty about it because they didn't go well. That to me that's really concerning. That people who, family members even, that have, bound by blood or been friends forever, that these conversations, that they can't, that people have conversations and people leave upset. I kind of worked my way into your answer there. The answer. Well, that's what concerns me.
That makes sense. I mean, it is weird times. It's divisive. It seems like there's 2 gangs, but if you look at the numbers, 42% of Republicans are not going to move. They're going to vote right. 44% of Democrats are not going to move. They're going to vote left. 4% of the Green and the Libertarians are going to stick to their guns. That's about 90%. It's the 10% that's going to elect the next president. That's simple as that. It's the 10% of America right now that's going to elect either Biden and Kamala or Trump and Pence.
And tell me who you think that 10% is. Who are, because I'm probably in there somewhere. I
think you're probably in there based on which, I don't know you well, but based on what you're saying is you're probably a center-right person. You're probably somebody that's center-right. I'm military. I'm also center-right myself. But that 10%, you got the entrepreneurs who may be socially left, but economically they're conservative. Okay, so they're going to be kind of sitting there saying, let's see what's going to be happening over here. You got the baby boomers who may be socially conservative, but economically a little bit liberal because they need the Medicare, Medi-Cal, they need the health, they need all that other stuff. So they may vote for somebody that's going to take care of their health insurance. So that's a big audience with baby boomers, 76 million of them. You have, the folks who don't follow any politics and could care less, but they're willing to vote, and they're just kind of going to vote, quite frankly, on the simplest thing, like who they like more. And it's not even that complicated. But that 10% is going to determine our next president. And that next president, the next 4 years, one is planning on taking capital gains to 15%, which is Trump. Mm-hmm. And the other one is going to plan on taking taxes to a whole different level, at a higher level. So economically, you know who that's going to hurt and who that's going to benefit. And one just said the other day to Cardi B that he wants to make college free for any family making less than $125,000 a year income for their kids, which that's 90% of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, taxes are going to be going up the way we're going. Right? It's such a dramatically, like when Bill Clinton became president, I voted for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first president I shook hands with. I'm like, dude, okay. I mean, he's a capitalist. This is a,
Yeah.
Him and Newt made it work similar to what Reagan and Tip O'Neill made it work. Reagan and Tip O'Neill, two Irishmen, would go out and hash it out and come back and come up with something, and they would talk shit to each other privately and publicly, but
Yeah.
they figured things out. You know, things kind of cleared up. Right now, it's very weird. It's very, very weird
Yeah.
on where we are today. So I don't know what's going to happen. We will see. My goal today, my main outcome of this entire interview was one thing. My goal was for you and I to be able to solve every single problem in the world. I think we failed. So I don't think we solved every problem in the world, but I think we're starting the conversation, and people can start having a conversation with each other, hopefully in a civil manner.